I know what people are going to say tonight. They're going to say, look at Rahul Shivshankar. He's trying to justify the indefensible. He's going to try and whip up sympathy for a politician who is in the dock for hurting the sensitivities of Muslims and who is in the dock for her attempt, an irresponsible attempt to divide India. That he's doing so because he is an Islamophobe. That's what they will say, viewers. But if I must face these scurrilous accusations for speaking up against vendetta and obscurantism, not to mention the total breakdown of law and order, then I'm prepared, viewers, to take them head on, to face each one of these scurrilous accusations. I will, in fact, wear them as a badge of honor, because I, viewers, believe in the Indian Constitution. Earlier today, Times Now reported that Nupur Sharma, suspended BJP national spokesperson, had applied for and has been granted a gun license. Viewers, you heard right. Sharma has had to apply for a license because sources in the police have told us that the threats to behead her have escalated. Today, they not just envelop her personage, but also her immediate family. Now, each one of you may be repulsed by Nupur Sharma's views. You may think that she was out of line. You may think, viewers, that she has behaved in a manner not becoming of a national spokesperson of India's ruling party. But viewers, how are death threats against her person acceptable? That's the fundamental question. The matter is with the judiciary. People who had a problem with what she said have filed cases. Those cases are now before various courts. In fact, the Supreme Court decided to amalgamate all those cases. Viewers, the courts must decide on her culpability. But you will certainly agree with me that in a modern democracy governed by the rule of law, Nupur Sharma shouldn't be living in the fear of an extra-constitutional, extrajudicial execution at the hands of Islamist hardliners. Viewers, since I last checked, there is no pan-national blasphemy law in this country that prescribes beheadings for those who allegedly insult the Prophet. India has a penal code, and the laws for such an offense prescribe a jail term of between 7 to 10 years at the maximum. But viewers, as you have seen in the case of even the celebrated and noted author Salman Rushdie, BJP politician Kamlesh Tiwari, or ordinary Indians like Umesh Kole, Islamists don't recognize these laws. All these individuals have paid in some capacity or the other for allegedly offending the sensibilities of the Muslims in this country or elsewhere. Judging from what happened to these individuals, it's almost a certainty that Nupur Sharma, or perhaps her family, will be made to pay grievously for allegedly hurting Muslim sentiments. This is not right, viewers. She can't be threatened, as I said, with extrajudicial violence. Let the courts decide, because that's what we've set out for ourselves through our Constitution. Unfortunately, because of vote bank politics, no politician has had the courage to denounce the thugs that have threatened to behead Nupur. These politicians, viewers, are entrusted, they are lawmakers, some of them, and they're entrusted with upholding constitutionality in this country. The Sartan Se Juda Brigade in this country therefore now believes that it can act with impunity and get away, and it does. Even the Supreme Court has emboldened this mob by prima facie holding Nupur Sharma guilty and virtually suggesting that she must suffer the consequences. Let me, viewers, take you over what the Supreme Court had said in its first iteration when Nupur Sharma had appeared before it. On July 1st, the Supreme Court observed she faces threats or she has become security threat. Apologized to the nation. Conscience of court not satisfied. Nupur's loose tongue has set the entire country on fire. Nupur responsible for what's happening in this country. Nupur Sharma's petition smacks of her arrogance. Viewers, even today, the principles of many parties are not standing up to Islamists. Instead, they are critical of Nupur Sharma taking steps to defend herself. Do they believe that the threats to Nupur's life are acceptable in a modern democracy such as ours? That's the fundamental question. But first, listen to these politicians, viewers, these so-called law-abiding, law-upholding, and law-making politicians. Listen to them.
केंद्र सरकार ने पहले से ही नुपुर शर्मा जी को सिक्योरिटी या सुरक्षा, अतिरिक्त सुरक्षा मुहैया कराई हुई है। तो क्या भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो राष्ट्रीय प्रवक्ता नुपुर शर्मा जी हैं, उनको क्या केंद्र सरकार द्वारा दी गई सुरक्षा में विश्वास नहीं है?
This new India, we'll all need a gun license. So this also shows that under Mr. Modi's governance, ordinary people like you and me will soon need a gun license.
और ऐसे लोग जो समाज के अंदर उसकी एकता को तोड़ते हैं, उसके अंदर जो सदाशयता है उसको तोड़ते हैं, उन्हें क्या अधिकार है कि उन्हें हथियारों के लाइसेंस दिए जाए?
We are asking a simple question: why is she not yet arrested? There are so many FIRs filed against her, but still she is outside, and I won't be surprised if tomorrow the BJP gives her some lucrative post as a gift.
Viewers, let's open this up for a conversation, for a debate. But let me also begin by saying that if we are to have a meaningful, constructive debate tonight, then we must all agree to one common minimum baseline: that Sartan se Juda slogans are illegal, are ultra-virus of our Constitution, and that those individuals who are chanting them should be thrown in jail. No questions asked. We must first agree to this before we even begin to talk about the gravity of a situation where an Indian today is not being judged in a court of law, but outside of it, and fears for a mortal life. Viewers, put yourself in the place of Nupur Sharma. Had you, like Umesh Kole, committed the sin of supporting Nupur Sharma, you would be dead. Because that's what happened to Umesh Kole. That's, as I said, perhaps going to happen to Nupur Sharma. This is disproportionality. This is unconstitutionalism. Let's open this up. Varis Pathan of the MIM is with us, a party that advocates for Muslim interests, minority interests. Mr. Pathan, I introduced you as an advocate, and therefore I expect you to live up to the fact that you believe in the law. And I'm going to therefore first ask you, forget about everything else. I'm going to first ask you to condemn the slogan Sartan se Juda that invites the threat of harm against Nupur Sharma.
Well, I strongly condemn any kind of slogan which leads to violence, which gives us call for violence, whether it is Sartan se Juda or whether it is Mulle Kaate Jayenge, Ram Ram Chillayenge. I condemn all such kind of slogans. And the country will follow the rule of law, the country will follow the constitution. And today Nupur Sharma has been given a license. Where Rahul, any individual, whether you, me or any person in the country, if he feels that he is a security threat, there's a threat to his life, is very well, he is entitled to apply for a gun license to the Commissioner of Police, and the Commissioner, after verifying the threat perception, would definitely give a gun license. So many people are having license with them. Now, Nupur Sharma was already given security by the central government. She never went to jail. We were demanding that she should be arrested for the remarks which were made by her. And not only me, even the Supreme Court judge, as quoted by you right now on 1st July, has stated that the things which are going on in our country, Nupur is responsible for them. Her big mouth is responsible for it. Because of her statement, the country was sham. Even our bureaucrats were called by the foreign countries. We had to face humiliation because of her. And now, if she is applied for a gun, well, she can keep a gun with her.
Mr. Pathan.
It should not be misused. But I won't be surprised tomorrow that if the BJP government, as a gift, gives Nupur Sharma a lucrative post also, because till now what we have seen is she's been protected by the central government.
One second, let's not
Why
jump to
did she not go
conclusions.
before
One second.
surrender earlier?
One second, let's not go into hypotheticals. One second. Let me ask you. Now, talk is cheap, Mr. Pathan. Talk is very cheap, and it comes cheaply to you. Let me tell you. It's easy to say nice things on TV. But I want to ask you, sir, your Member of Parliament, Imtiaz Jalil, he's one of those, and he is from the AIMM, he's one of those who stood in Aurangabad in a famous Chauraha intersection, a chowk, a plaza of that city, and he said that Nupur Sharma must be hanged from this very spot. He is one of those who incited hate, death threats against Nupur Sharma. Sir, can I ask you, since you don't believe in any extrajudicial means, what action has been taken against Mr. Imtiaz Jalil?
Well, our party president at the relevant time had clarified the statement made by Imtiaz Jalil. But as you quoted Imtiaz Jalil, I would like also to quote certain member of parliament like Sadhu Pragya Thakur, who says that churi chaku tez karke rakho, dushman ki gardan katne mein kaam aa jayega.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Sir,
you will agree?
What steps have been taken against Parvesh Verma,
Mr.
who called
Pathan,
for the Muslim boycott?
Two wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right. Is it because nothing? No, one second. One second. Mr. Pathan, you want to judge yourself?
Said we don't stand with it.
Okay, one second. No. What action was, if you don't stand with it, this is a call. One second.
Every day they are
just
making
1 second.
out.
That's fine. I am not going to stand up for them. Two wrongs in my book don't make a right. They might make a right in your book, sir, which is very unfortunate. Since you have said, and I'll play out that sound bite of Mr. Imtiaz Jalil. Viewers, let me tell you tonight, Imtiaz Jalil was one of several people from the community that found itself offended by Nupur Sharma's remarks. As viewers, whipping up hate and calling for her death. That's him. Amongst a whole gaggle of cheering supporters, he holds up her poster as if she is the most wanted and says, hang her. You can hear the chants. Phansi, Phansi, Phansi. He goes out and slaps her poster with slippers, or at least somebody does, as he's holding it. There you can see, viewers. There he is. He's holding it. He's a gentleman in the white shirt, and he taps on that. Now, viewers, I will play out that soundbite also. And you will then hear for yourself how hate is manufactured against a person. When, viewers, all these individuals had to do was to approach the courts, which they also did, by the way, and seek action against her, criminal action. So I will play out that in just a few moments. But this is what was going on. And Mr. Pathan tells me very glibly tonight, oh, you see, we condemned it. Hamare party chief ne to bol diya, galat hai. Can you imagine, viewers? Do you know what the crime under the law to incite murder against somebody is, viewers? And should a member of parliament be seen amongst a gaggle of people like this? I'm asking you, viewers, where is the morality? Where is the morality? And then, viewers, they have the cheek to say, oh, Nupur Sharma, you see, she is being given a shield. Do they want her to be thrown out onto the streets so they can lynch them or hang them up, hang her up from some choraha in Aurangabad? Maybe that's what they want. Let me ask Syed Rizwan Ahmed, who's the other lawyer. General Bakshi is also here with us, a law-abiding Indian citizen who has fought for this country to uphold the values of constitutionality. Mr. Rizwan Ahmed, first to you. What do you make of what Advocate Waris Pathan is saying tonight? What do you make, or do you believe him when he says, oh, I condemn these slogans, when he has not taken any action and gone out of his way to defend Imtiaz Jalil by drawing some sort of cringeworthy parallel? Please.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. See, Rahul, time and again I have been reiterating ad nauseum that Muslims might be surprising you at times. Educated Muslims might be surprising you at times. They do not surprise me at all, because I have studied the psyche for 25 years through my wisdom, and many more years through wisdom of the elders of my family. So they do not surprise me at all. सर तन से जुदा गुस्ताख रसूल की एक सजा might be an violation of law for a specific constitution or law book. It is not a violation as per Shariat and Islamic law. That is why blasphemy law exists, for God's sake, exists in nations which are recognized by United Nations, where we have diplomatic relations by not less than 50 Islamic nations. So if Gustakh Rasool ki ek saza sar tan se juda was something wrong as per Islam, then how come 50 Islamic nations were having this law? Number one. For a Muslim, when it comes to the divine Allah, Rasool, Quran, he is not a lawyer, he is not an educated person, he is not a barrister, he is a Muslim. Please understand it. And for a Muslim, courts, the ambit of courts is limited to when a crime is committed by a human or on a human. But when any person commits a crime against the divine, then the courts lose their ambit for a Muslim.
Okay.
And sar tan se juda becomes the law.
Okay.
Now आप उसको कर पाए ना कर पाए, टीवी पर आप उसको कंडेम करें ना करें, ये सब बोगी है.
Bogi hai. Okay. Just
And
one second.
when a person commits a crime against the divine,
Okay,
yeah.
just 1 second, because I want to play out that soundbite that Imtiaz Jalil's colleague, member of parliament no less, who swears by the constitution, that soundbite, viewers, that invokes violence against Nupur Sharma. Now you listen to that, viewers, and then you tell me who you agree with, Rizwan Bhai or Waris Bhai. Listen into this bite.
कि नुपुर शर्मा को फांसी देना है तो वो औरंगाबाद के इसी चौराहे के अंदर उसे फांसी दे. कि नुपुर शर्मा को फांसी देना है तो वो औरंगाबाद के इसी चौराहे के अंदर उसे फांसी दे.
Now let me also tell you, viewers, before I bring in General Bakshi, this is not the first time that the MIM has taken it upon itself to dispense a call to violence against a person who they believe has violated their religious codes. I want to take you back, viewers, to August 2007. Noted Bangladeshi novelist Taslima Nasreen was roughed up by activists of the MIM at a book release function. A group of 20 MIM workers led by MLAs Afsar Khan, Ahmed Pasha and Mozoom Khan stormed the press club premises and raised slogans against the author. As the function was about to conclude, the MIM activists suddenly barged into the conference hall, attacked the press photographers, damaged the furniture and glass panes, and some of them reached the dais and roughed up the novelists. Now, viewers, MIM will tell you, oh, they were acquitted. That's very easy in this country to get acquittals, viewers. You know. You can just threaten a few witnesses. General Bakshi.
May I say something now?
No, sir. What are you going to say? Are you going to say that you should have sacked these people like you should have sacked...
morality. Where is the morality when you are just talking about our party?
There you go.
Where does your morality go? Why don't you speak about Pragya Thakur who speaks about...
I have already told you...
keeping knives, sharpen the knife to kill the enemies. Where does your morality go when the Dharam Sansak call for Muslim genocide is given? Where does your morality go when the member of parliament from the BJP says call for... Where is the call for boycotting the Muslims?
Viewers, is Taslima Nasreen.
I'm asking a question on morality.
There is Taslima Nasreen, viewers.
Only one party.
There is Taslima Nasreen.
Right, clear.
Viewers, there is Taslima Nasreen on your screens. Look at how they were intimidating her. If Nupur Sharma appears in public, Taslima Nasreen, of course, is a Muslim. But if Nupur Sharma were to appear in public, God alone knows what they would do. That is Taslima Nasreen. That's why, viewers, she says, I feel threatened. And even now, viewers, even now, they will go out of their way to draw false equivalences. Where is everybody coming out and saying, withdraw these fatwas, withdraw these calls to behead her? No one will say it, viewers. Nobody. Am I wrong, General Bakshi? Am I right or am I wrong? I'll also bring in Ishkaran Bhandari, Majid Haidri and Tehseen Poonawala. General Bakshi, what do you make of this? Does Nupur Sharma deserve to be killed? Are the threats against her acceptable? General Saab.
Rahul, there is a law of the land. If somebody has transgressed the laws, then there are the courts to take care of it. There is a justice system, jurisprudence system, a police system. Nobody has declared this country to be an Islamist republic in the Taliban mold, right? And as such, there are no blasphemies laws enshrined in our constitution. Nobody can threaten to slit the throat of anyone who he feels has offended his susceptibilities, his religion or whatever belief or faith he has. There is a rule of law. There are the courts in the country which are there to adjudicate, to take action. They have been fairly prompt in such matters, and they have taken actions. They have taken stringent action also. But for anybody to declare that India is now under the rule of the Sharia, our constitution has been abrogated, thrown out of the window, and henceforth we will go around on a throat-splitting spree. You can't do it to Salman Rushdie, you can't do it to anybody else. There are people in France fighting to even defend the cartoonist, right, Charlie Hebdo. So the fact of the matter is, the rest of the world has not signed up onto the Sharia law. The rest of the world is not about to slit the throats of anybody who seems to offend the sensibilities of others. And what we find now is a new, a new twist to the whole narrative, Islamophobia, right? And a new, kind of a definition of secularism that seems to suggest that anything done to the Kashmiri Hindus is par for the course. Shut up and bear it, right? If you talk about it, it is Islamophobia 1, it is anti-secular 2, it is promoting religious hatred 3. This kind of a twisted narrative, I'm afraid then vitiates the atmosphere.
Right.
Vitiates the atmosphere. It leads to extremism on both sides.
Okay. Let me bring in Majid Hydari.
Extremism and counter.
Yeah, one second, Mr. Poonawalla and Ishkaran Bhandari also. First, Mr. Hydari and then Ishkaran Bhandari and then Mr. Poonawalla. Yes. Mr. Majid Hydari, should Samuel Paty have been killed by beheading? Should Salman Rushdie have been blinded in a knifing? And should Nupur Sharma be faced with a death threat? It's a very simple question. And if not, will you condemn this lurch towards Sartan Se Juda, this slogan that was uttered, and also the extrajudicial invocation of harm by the MIM MP?
Being a law-abiding citizen, I condemn everything unlawful, even BJP's attack on Besharam Rang, which led to beheading of 10 scenes from the movie Pathan.
Condemn Sartan Se Juda first.
Getting a gun license.
No, 1 second. Hydari Saab, condemn. Stop. First you condemn Sartan Se Juda. Say that Sartan Se Juda is an illegal slogan. Say it.
Sir, this slogan ceases to exist in a democratic secular country.
Mr. Hydari, say that Sartan Se Juda, repeat after me, Sartan Se Juda.
Sir, I'm not here for any vote taking.
No, 1 second. Is a assault on the Indian Constitution. You must say it tonight.
It is definitely, this slogan is abuse of Indian Constitution.
Okay.
This slogan should not be
now that you have said so, let me ask you, sir. Should Nupur Sharma today be faced with the prospect of buying a gun to defend herself, and are the death threats against her, sir, irrespective of what the BJP has said and done in the past, are the death threats against her acceptable? Simple question.
Sir, firstly, the grant of gun license to Nupur Sharma is not a Hindu-Muslim issue. But yes, the Delhi police have pushed the entire nation to that proverbial bandar ke haath mein ustra moment. I mean, you have weaponized a loose cannon, about whom Honorable Supreme Court said that woman put the entire...
You have weaponized...
Now,
viewers, listen to this. You have weaponized a loose cannon. He has still not said that you have not... No, 1 second. That people like him, through their acquiescence in all of this, have weaponized the Sartan Se Juda gang. Ishkaran Bhandari, what is Mr. Majid Hydari saying? You have weaponized a loose cannon.
Rahul, it's a question to me if I can answer. It's a question to me if I can answer.
And that too with a gun. It's a monkey with a time bomb situation for the nation.
It's a monkey with a time bomb. You have weaponized, viewers, you have weaponized a loose cannon, he says.
A loose cannon.
Rahul.
Yes.
Rahul, let us not mince words. Nupur Sharma getting a gun license is less than the bare minimum. Nupur Sharma getting police protection by Delhi police is the bare minimum. Ideally, she should be granted central government protection under Z category, because that's the threat she faces. There are 2 people who have died merely for supporting her. There are multiple people who have on video made threats. There are other people who have carried out those threats. So that is the bare minimum which should be done in this case. But don't interrupt. Let us deal with the case. We all know who has the propensity of being a bomb. Let us not get into those conversations. Let us deal with the facts here very easily, because there is a history behind this. 295A was brought in by the Britishers because they believed Mahashay Rajpal was not punished and he was butchered. So they said, let us bring a law so that if some blasphemy happens, people will face the law, they will not be butchered. What happens? Almost 80 years from that, even though there are laws against blasphemy, we are still having people being butchered. So laws are obviously not going to help, because there is a certain sect of people who think that law is not sufficient. They have to do Sartan Se Juda. Now deal with one more fact. Yes. Don't interrupt. Deal with one more fact here, Rahul, which is clear, that death is not merely extinguishing of life. Under Article 21, it's not mere animal existence. What Nupur Sharma is going through is also a form of death. She was a practicing advocate. She can't practice in High Court, Supreme Court, District Courts. She was a person in public life, a student leader, DUSU president in her 20s. She cannot be a part of public life, and blame for that also goes to political party she belonged to, because they were very, I think, very enthusiastic in suspending her. So that also must be accounted. But what she is facing through is an unprecedented situation egged on by a lobby which wants to terrorize people. So the only solution is not condemning Sar Tanse on TV, but anybody chanting Sar Tanse, which is a cry for terror, to be booked and jailed under terror laws, so that those who egg on people with these slogans face the laws in its fullest extent.
UAPA law imposed on Nupur Sharma for what she said. She put the entire nation on fire. This is what Honorable Supreme Court said. And then you are defending an outlaw, a supposed outlaw about whom the prima facie Honorable Supreme Court says he put the entire nation on fire. Why should we, for the sake of it, just defend?
Rahul, can I answer this?
Yes, yes.
Sentiments of not only
Ishkan Mandari, respond.
Person who believes in the Constitution.
Respond. Tehseen Poonawala is getting restless, but respond.
Rahul, this is the problem. A person facing life threat where 2 people have been butchered, that is a fact. Then also she is blamed here. And secondly, let us be very clear. Why do you object to UAPA terror laws being put on people who say Sar Tanse? Because you are in a way supporting them, giving them covering fire, and there are others who are carrying it out. So that is why we need to book these people saying Sar Tanse, because we have seen Sar Tanse being carried out.
Viewers, let me tell you something. I want to step in and I want to bring in Tehseen Poonawala. Viewers, let me tell you, Majid Hydari says there is nothing communal about this. There is nothing communal about this. Majid Hydari, yes, I think Rizwan Bhai is also putting his hand up. I just want to quickly, before I bring you in, Rizwan Bhai, to respond to Mr. Hydari, and I will bring you in also, Mr. Poonawala. Just give me 30 seconds. It's a difficult debate to conduct, as you realize, and I have to be careful about what is said and must filter out what is not being said also, because a lot that is not being said, viewers, let me tell you, is dog whistle. It's being said, but not quite said. Now, 1 second. Let me first quickly disavow a few people of the sophistry of Mr. Hydari. He said there is no communal angle. Viewers, Mr. Hydari comes from a state where people like him support individuals like Burhan Wani and company who isolate people on the basis of their religion and they kill them. Viewers, that is the problem. So obviously he's not going to see the communal dimension to this at all. But yes, very quickly, Rizwan Bhai, you were making a point, and I want to bring in Tehseen Poonawala right after. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Tehseen. Rahul, I ask a very simple question. You have been hearing since the episode of Nupur happened, कि इसको जेल भेजो, जेल भेजो, जेल भेजो. Suppose Nupur was arrested and sent to jail, and she was out on bail after 15 days. You think the matter was sorted? Suppose she was out after 3 months. You think the matter was sorted? Suppose she was out after 3 years. You think the matter was settled? That is what I've been trying to explain it to you. If Nupur would have been arrested and sent to jail, and she would have got a bail after 3 years, then also when she would have come out, she would have needed a Y plus security. Matter would not have been settled.
Let me bring in Mr. Poonawala to respond.
Whenever the divine is challenged for a Muslim, whenever the divine is challenged for a Muslim, law or no law, non-state actors will invoke Shariat and go for certain
non-state actors.
For God's sake, understand what I am saying.
It does Rizwan Bhai have a limited point, at least on this, because even after Mr. Rushdie spent 35 years in police protection, he was attacked. One would have thought the cloud would have passed over his head, but he was attacked even after 35 years.
Good evening, Rahul. Thank you so much for finally bringing me in. And at the onset, thank you to General Bakshi for the service he's rendered to our countries because of people like him that we are safe. I agree with the limited point Rizwan Bhai and Ishkaran made. And I want to add something out here. I am extremely clear, and you know that my position is I am anti-BJP. I absolutely dislike Mr. Modi and Amit Shah ji politically. You know that it's not hidden. But there is no reason for Nupur Sharma to be in jail. No reason. This country does not have blasphemy laws. And what I'm saying has put my life under threat. I also have security. It's been, and I've said this on your show, there is no reason for Nupur to be under threat. What she said is wrong, that the courts are taking care of it. But no, in our country, there are no blasphemy laws. I understand it's 295A. The courts will decide she shouldn't be in jail. So first, I'm very upset with the Supreme Court for throwing her under the bus. This was wrong of the Supreme Court to do. Number two, I am terribly upset with the Bharatiya Janata Party, because if countries like Qatar, Afghanistan and Pakistan, God damn it, these third-grade countries will lecture my country on democracy and freedom of speech, and they threw Nupur under the bus. Rahul, I have several differences with the Bharatiya Janata Party. I have 100 differences with Ishkar and Bhandari personally. But when it comes to Indian citizens, I expect my government to protect me. Let's assume hypothetically tomorrow Tehseen Poonawalla makes a mistake on your show. I've made a mistake. Will the Indian government throw me under the bus because Afghanistan demands I be thrown under the bus? How dare? And therefore, I often say two things on your show. If this government fell under Yamuna, it would be sad, but if somebody rescued it, it would be a tragedy. This government has the spine of a molten eclair. They should have stood up and defended Nupur. The court should have taken care of Nupur, but they should not have thrown Nupur under the bus.
Okay, so let me ask you.
The problem is what's happening.
This is very important.
That's happening.
And one must respect Tehseen Poonawalla for his point of view, because the two gentlemen sitting in the bottom row, Pathan and Hydari, invoked both the Supreme Court and these Muslim countries, saying that, oh my God, look at how upset these Gulf countries became. So, Mr. Poonawalla, are they wrong? Are these people wrong when they say, oh, listen to what the reaction was? Our brothers in Saudi Arabia and Qatar and Afghanistan were so upset that we had to say these things.
Does India tell Qatar what it should do? Does India interfere in the internal affairs of Saudi Arabia? And this bogey of they give us oil. Listen, Rahul, they don't give us oil free. We buy amongst the highest oil in the world. It is a transactional relationship built over 70 years. They will not interfere in my country's affairs. If Nupur is wrong, I have faith in my judiciary. Actually, I don't, because the judiciary also threw her under the bus. It is important to defend liberty, because, Rahul...
Mr. Pathan, important to defend liberty. That is what Tehseen Poonawalla is saying tonight. Respond to him. Don't respond to me, respond to him. Tell me why you disagree with Tehseen Poonawalla. The rational Tehseen Poonawalla put it two windows.
Well, I have been listening to the co-panelist. Yeah, Tehseen, please allow me to make my point. Well, I have been listening to the co-panelists. One of the co-panelists just now rightly said that there should be a terror law on the people who give such kind of provocative slogans like Sar Tan Se Juda. Very well right. There should be a proper terror law even on those people who killed Pelu Khan and even on those people who killed Akhlaq in the name of Jai Shri Ram. Those who lynch them, there should be a strictest terror law against them. There should be a terror law against Pragya Singh Thakur also. Why to be selective? He is also a member of parliament.
That's your best. No, hang on. That's your best comeback. That's your best comeback. Now, 1 second. Let's stop here.
Who do this dharam sansa?
No, okay, Pathan Sahab. You always will look for that equivalence. You will always look for the equivalence to play the victim and martyr card. No, 1 second. I'm going to step in. Okay, Pathan Sahab, look, I'll need to step in here.
No, don't be
your best defense.
I have been listening to you.
Your best defense. Mr. Pathan is, उन्होंने भी किया, तो हम भी करेंगे. That is your best defense.
Allow me to make my point.
And that tells you something.
Allow me to make my point.
You made your point.
Have the guts to listen to the truth. Don't be selective.
You made your point.
Don't be selective.
You made your point.
Make my point, yes.
You made your point.
I'm making a genuine point.
No, 1 second. No, 1 second, Mr. Pathan.
It should be applicable to all.
Yes, of course it should be. And it should be applicable.
Okay. Let there be terror law on them as well.
Okay, 1 second. Mr. Pathan, you're absolutely right. We all agree with you. I don't think there's anyone on this panel that disagrees with you. The beauty of it is this. You have nobody today who's going to not agree with you. We'll all agree with you on this point that anyone from the other side who makes a hateful statement should be prosecuted under the law, under the strictest laws. Come up with the laws, no problems.
Yes.
But does that absolve you, sir, of taking action against those? And let me tell you a little bit about you also, Mr. Pathan. आपके बारे में भी थोड़ा मैं बताना चाहता हूँ viewers को. You said the time has now come. One minute, listen to me. Talking about hate speech, viewers, and he apologized for this, by the way. The time has now come for us to unite and achieve freedom. Remember, we are 15 crores, but can dominate over 100 crores. Pathan said this while addressing an anti-CA rally. They tell us that we have kept our women in the front. Only the lionesses have come out and you are already sweating. You can understand what would happen if all of us come together, unquote. This is what he said. And then, viewers, he apologized for it. But I'll tell you one thing. If Nupur Sharma were to come out tomorrow and apologize,
don't you think
she would not be given. She would not be given, as Rizwan Saab says. She will not be given. Excuse me. She has apologized. Nupur Sharma has apologized, viewers, but she will not be forgiven. Let me tell you this, as Rizwan Bhai said to all of us tonight. And this is because of people. This is because of people.
The Supreme Court quoted
this is because of people like Mr. Imtiaz Jalil of the AIML.
Can I come in, Rahul?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
What I meant, Rahul, even if she would have gone to jail and apologized, she would not have been condoned.
She would not have been.
That is what I am saying.
We all understood.
Right to
I leave it at this.
अगर वो जेल भी चली जाती, उसके बाद भी उसे माफ न किया जाता.
I leave it at this, viewers. Yes, Tehseen Punala, 30 seconds. Yes.
Rahul, Varis Pathan keeps talking about mob lynching. I fought mob lynching. Hindu lawyers fought for me pro bono. Supreme Court judges who are Hindu made it a criminal offense. I'll tell you, for Pragya Thakur, I filed the FIR. In a BJP ruled state. So let's not equivalent one crime to another crime.
Absolutely.
Crimes are crimes.
Absolutely. But Mr. Pathan will not accept it, viewers, because as I told you, what is not said tonight is what we have to hear. That's being said as a dog whistle. Think about it. I leave it at this, viewers. I leave it at this.